my name is Chantal Mukabi, and I am a coach for the national team for World Schools Debate Championships. One of the greatest impacts that ADA has had with their tournaments on the children and the WSTC debating community at large is that I've seen a lot of development of different skills for the students, things like confidence, things like speaking skills, things like research skills, just skills that are very much able to be translated into things like careers and just social interactions, how they're able to just interact formally and informally with other groups and cultures. I've also seen quite a big development in how they relate with different perspectives, being able to balance different perspectives, even if they are contrary to their own beliefs. I've seen them being able to tackle very, very sensitive topics in a very calm and balanced way, which is a skill that I think is quite rare and quite hard to build. So that's something I've seen progressively throughout the ADA tournaments that it's been able to do for the kids. But lastly, just like it's so much fun. They really enjoy, they get very emotionally invested in their team and in their debates, but they're also quite good sportsmen. They learn how to take, when they lose a debate, they learn how to try and get feedback and try and improve. So discipline is also another impact that it's had on them, just to try and continuously improve as they go on. I think also just looking at the international tournaments that ADA has taken the children to, we had gone to Vietnam in earlier this year for WSDC in July. So that's the overall World Schools Debating Championships. It's hosted at a different country in each year. And it was just amazing to see the scale at which WSDC can impact children. Bringing Kenya to their first physical WSDC ever was something that I think just left a mark on all of us in terms of, number one, just creating networks and relationships with children from different countries, but also coaches from those different countries, things like exchanging gifts, cultural nights, learning from each other in terms of debate skills, just trying to socialize and make friends. I think it did amazing things in terms of expanding their worldview and also just exposing them to higher levels of skill at debating, where they were really able to learn, but also a multitude of just different cultures. It was really a melting pot for them. And seeing as when they move from debate, they usually go off to their tertiary education. So most of them go abroad. They try to either apply for scholarships or self-fund, but they try to get the best education that they can, of course. And it really helps them to integrate into new environments and new cultures, having been on the WSDC national team and having experienced that in the WSDC world. So the impact that it's also had on me personally is, number one, I get very invested in these children and their success. I think that as a coach, it's really amazing to see how the children take what you teach them and translate them and kind of make it their own. I didn't know before that I would be able to have like an impact on children, especially when you're taking kids who are beginners. It's kind of like painting a blank canvas. So it's been really insightful, but also I've learned a lot from the kids as well, just in terms of skill, in terms of creating relationships, in terms of how they carry themselves. They've also taught me a lot. And so it's been a really great opportunity for self-reflection, as well as a really great opportunity to just teach the kids and learn from them and see what they can be able to create from that. I think lastly for me, just interacting with coaches as well, parents, patrons. I think that's also been a very humbling experience. You are thrown into some sort of challenging situations where it really pushes your growth in terms of how you deal with specific situations, especially urgent situations, because at the end of the day, you are dealing with minors, you are dealing with kids, and so you always want to try to provide the absolute best. So it's really pushed me in terms of that. But then also secondly, just in terms of how I create networks with coaches and how that subsequently feeds into the quality of training that we can give to the kids. So I think just looking at how interconnected everything is and how I can personally do my best to contribute to that as a coach and benefit the kids in the best way, I think is something that ADA has shown me personally.